showing back to a toy the other day, which I'd forgotten about, a little furry thing. It squeaked. I thought there must be a few more bat toys in my collection. But it's a rarity amongst the toy world to have toys that depict bats. Perhaps they're too scary for kids or whatever. But I did manage to find, well, a little handful of them anyway. This is one made by Tedco a few years ago. It's quite nicely made too. It says it calls itself BATWING, I think it is. Let's see if I can get it up the camera. Is it the one? And then when you turn it on like that, which means you pull back on here, it flaps nicely. I tried it in the garden. It sort of works, you know. My colleague said you didn't try it in the evening. You're supposed to have it when bats fly in the evening. I was trying in bright sunlight. So a flying bat toy made by Tedco is a nice one. And here's another one which came from that lovely French chap who made tin birds, which I'm very fond of. I'll see if I can just wind this up because this is supposed to be a vampire bat, which is more serious stuff, you know. He's supposed to attack you and then drink your blood, etc. Ooh, not so good. Let's see if I can get it to at least flap. There you go. Oh yes, so it flapped very nicely. But you need to get the thing to work properly. I had to put an elastic band in because it wasn't working. So well, so there's two flying toys. There's a very bizarre one I suddenly came across in one of the cases, which I'm really not quite sure what it is, but it has to be a bat, except the front looks like the front windscreen of an aircraft, isn't it? But there we are. But these wings are definitely bat-like, and it's got a sort of horny things at the top like a bat. It's a ball which doesn't bounce that well. Like, it's a bit too soft. It hasn't got enough bounce to it either. Perhaps it's supposed to be a bouncy ball. Perhaps do it on a trampoline. So I'm calling it a bat toy because it's the right colour, black, and it's sort of well, the front bit is too like an aircraft really, but that angle there, it's not too bad, and I call that a bat toy. The last one is a wonderful one which occurs as a pop-up thing in Jan Pieńkowski's Haunted House, which came back in the early 80s. This is one that really made his name, I think it was. I met him several times because he lived in Barnes at one time. I used to go across to his large house there and meet up with his artistic friends and have great fun. The idea of this book, and the bats on the last page, is you're supposed to open it up and visit a haunted house. And each page you come to, there's all sorts of things that happen, and you've got to move the tabs and eyes slant, etc., etc. I can't do that in the other house, but you then tour around the house. You reach you reach the kitchen. Lovely action there, and then we've got up to, oh yes, look at that, the living room. Some of the paper engineering that he devised was just superb. He did a later one called Robots, which I've got, which I don't like so much, but this one was so popular that he made. We got to now. There's the bathroom. Yes, okay. With monsters breaking through the wall, and then this is the last one. This is. Oh no, hang on. There's a bedroom to do as well. Again, when you pull tabs, awful things happen. But the last one is up in the attic, and attics have to be where the climax is, of course. You get a marvelous bat suddenly appears. Look at that, magnificent there, absolutely magnificent. The way it flaps like that is beautiful. Flap, 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 flap. This was the last page, which had to be the denouement, and there was a very, very clever item here, which, because it's made of cardboard, is worn down, unfortunately. It's down on the bottom here, where there's a crate, which is presumably has been delivered to the haunted house, and in it is a ghoul trying to get out. He's got a saw there, and he's trying to saw his way out so he can come and frighten you or eat you up or something like that. And when you open the books, that sawing action, the actual teeth there are still working, but the thing it's sawing against, a bit of bottom of the crate there is worn away too many times, but they made a lovely rasping sound as you did that, like a washboard. I can't make the noise in my head, but that was the idea, and it made a very, very nice last piece. But unfortunately, with being cardboard, well, it hasn't got a ghost of a chance, has it, really? But that's my last one. That's a very, very fine bat done by Jan Pieńkowski, which occurs in the back of this fantastic book, The Haunted House. Bats, I love them, but I could do with a few more.